A lot of times you guys will just literally take like, oh, Alex Hormozi says do this, so you guys will be like, oh, I'm gonna do this. Like, bro, you're literally getting programmed. You are like, oh, I'm escaping the matrix, so I'm doing this, while you're listening to someone else who is doing the same thing. They're all trying to program you. Your consciousness is being taken. Why you can't think in business? The biggest reason, the biggest thing that I see is not the strategies, it's not the ads, it's not the organic content, it's the biggest bottleneck of thinking. Because a lot of you guys, what you try to do is like, you'll make a video, you'll make an ad, but you're copying someone constantly without doing your own bits of touch and flavor. And why you should listen to me, I have scaled 50K a month myself. I have scaled my clients 6 figures a month, and I've also worked with 7 figure business as a sales operative. So I know what I'm talking about, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. And on top of that, I'm smart. So listen to me, I'm 0.003%. So this is going to be 0.03% advice to you. Let's get this started. Now, what you have to understand that when I say think, I'm not saying the literal meaning of thinking, but like, you guys are so much in, because we're content creators, because we're coaches, we watch so many of these guys online, right? We watch a lot of content that is consumed via, Reels, YouTube, whatever the case is. And of course, we're doing it for ourselves. We're trying to see what's working, what's not working. But what happens is that your mind becomes this pattern. Your mind becomes this, which I'm going to touch on here, like why your part of your brains are owned by people. Now, let me give you an example, right? If you think of school, or if you think of, just consulting or a guru in general, you'll think of Sam Ovens. Why? Because he owns that part, right? If you think of lifestyle or just like life maxing girls, women, all that sort of stuff, you think of Tate. You think of value, start thinking about Alex Hormozi, right? Why do you think that these people matter so much? Let me give you another example. If you think of SMMA, you start thinking about Iman. Now, why does this is equaling to this? Why does the words that they're saying is making a person think about that stuff? That is super, super important. Why do you know them? Like, why do they own a certain part of the market, or just like a term in general? Like lifestyle or lifestyle maxing, like that's such a massive term, but it's owned by a singular guy. Tate. Think of value. Value is a massive thing. Value is everything in the market. And you think of Alex Hormozi, these guys are owning a part of your brain. But the issue comes here is that you are thinking just because they have told you, and not you're not thinking because the process that they have applied themselves. That is the issue. Why do you know them? They are industry leaders, but here's the catch, right? You might think they're because they're famous, because there's this, but there's a catch. They own your thinking. When I was doing this podcast with Andres, if you guys haven't checked it out, please check it out. It was super, super amazing. He makes 300K a month with sales at the age of 18. He did this in almost like less than, I would say like 3 years, which is super, super impressive. One of the things that I knew about Andres is because how much aware he was. He knew why the way he worked. He was like, oh, this happens because of psychology and this and this and this. Like, he was so meticulous about what he studied and what he did that he knew where they was coming from. What happens with you guys is that you are like, oh, if Alex Hormozi says give value, so I'm going to give value. That's not logical sense. That's just regurgitating the same stuff. You're still in school. You're still being a literal dumbass. Think about these things. What a teacher told me that the earth is heating up. Okay, but does the facts tell you that? Yes or no? Now, what you do, because you have that slave programming, I have to use that word because that's literally what it means. You're using the same thing here and here and here, not thinking, what do these guys do actually? You're not thinking of what was the main reason why these guys conducted themselves in a way, and why are they attached to a certain thing. Because if you think of value, you can think of Hormozi, which is not wrong, but what is actually value? What is actually, life maxing for you? What is actually, SMMA that works right now, freelance brand scaling, which Brez owns right now? This is the same part you have to see over and over again. Before today, there was Dan Bilzerian, who was, the ultimate alpha male. Before him, Sam Ovens kind of, took over. These guys are themselves are not recreating the stuff. You can't recreate lifestyle. Like, that's pretty simple. You can't recreate these. They're just taking a word, taking something, and they are just using it again, but they have their own twist with it. And that's what you're missing. That's why you are not able to make any money. This is why Andre is able to make 300K a month, because he knew every single thing, where it came from. He knew his desires, he knew his shadow, he knew the philosophy behind it, he knew the actual core data and facts behind it. And most of you guys don't have that, and that's why you are stuck, okay? So what do we do now? We start using first principle thinking. Now, what is that? This is used by Elon Musk. This is used by so many entrepreneurs. Here's a video.
How on earth has one person been able to innovate in this way? What is it about? good framework for thinking is first principles.
First principles.
First principles.
First principle thinking is problem-solving method that involves breaking down a complex issue to its most basic and fundamental truths, and reasoning up from there, other than relying on conviction, analogy, or assumption. Most of you guys think in analogy. Oh, value. Oh, why should I give value? Alex Hormozi did that. That's analogy. That is taken from someone else. That is an assumption. Alex Hormozi is not the truth. The core mechanisms of value is the truth. Why am I telling you guys this? Let me explain this to you. The reason why you can't scale, the reason why you can't recreate or become a leader in the industry is because you can't think for yourself. You have to create your own path. That is the truth, and that's the hardest truth that I've realized. I was like, oh, I'm gonna just take what's working and I'm gonna do it, but you have to put your own twist in it, because you're always gonna eat the breadcrumbs of the winners. You're always gonna eat the breadcrumbs of Hormozi. He's gonna make 10 million, you're gonna make 100k a month. Do you want to be capped by that? Don't you want to beat this guy? He's not any better than you. Like, come on, look at Iman, right? Oh, he's gonna become a billionaire. He's doing all this stuff in Warp. Can you not do what he's doing? These guys are not that smart. Even Sam Owen, even Tate is not that smart. What these guys are good at is finding opportunities and then using their own twist with it to give it to you, to present it to you. Pretty simple, right? Now, if you look at creativity, right? Like, let's look at Apple. If you think of Apple, you think of creativity. They own that entire sphere. They own a literal fucking word. Do you understand the impact that you have when you think of creativity? When you think of someone who's, cool, you think that. This is Kanye right here, writing his music. He's using a MacBook. Why? Because Apples mean creativity. Like, this is such a massive thing. Most of you guys don't even own an object. Now, these people right here that I talked about, Tate, Alex Hormozi, Iman Ghazi, all these people, they're owning a certain sort of part of business. They don't own a word. The bigger the business gets, the bigger the company gets, literally own a word. If you look at Nike, right? They own the word performance. That's Michael Jordan, right? Why do you wear Jordans? Because you think like you're this. Crazy picture, by the way. But you think like you're this, right? They own that word, performance. Okay, performance means Nike. If you think of Under Armour, that means the underdog. So all these brands, what they're trying to do is that they're trying to correlate yourself with a certain word or image. Now, most of you guys know that, but you're not aware. That's the issue. The issue is not that this is bad or good. You have to be aware of all these things that are happening so that you can own a word yourself. Or why not own it, right? You're already in the loop. Now, if you look at Warp, if you look at school, they are the new Apple and the new Kajabi. Warp made an AI video of just, like people where they were just talking about, I think, think different. They recreate the entire Apple ad of think different. Warp did that. It was like completely AI. They're already trying to be like, hey, if you use Warp, you're creative. If you use Warp, you're cool. If you use Warp, you're this. Kajabi is more, technical. And if you're this, if you're a business owner who's kind of serious and who's, wants to help creators and you're like, you're businessy, you're going to use this. But are the mechanisms actually is there a better option than this? Maybe there are. Are you actually looking for it? That's the issue that you guys are having. It's not the point that you guys shouldn't use it. It's like, are you even listening and seeing to yourself what's actually happening? Why should I use Warp? Oh, because my friend is using Warp. Why? Is there better? Imagine if you get a cheaper, a better, or a much 10 times faster solution than Warp. What's going to happen to you? Think about that. You're going to beat the market. You're going to become better. And that's the key. That's what you have to do. Even if you look at Warp, like look at the simple. This is such a subtle difference. Warp, you're cool. You know yourself. Look at the styling. Look how different this is. Luxury cat, watches, horses, this and this. Look at Alex Hormozi, simple, right? Shirtless, tank top, this business. Entire HQ. This is all done on purpose, people. You have to sit there and do it. YouTube, tweets, podcasts, all this stuff. Iman is just, like he has lifestyle and all that stuff. And that's what these guys are selling you on. They're not selling you on using the actual software, the image of the software. So what you have to do, you have to strip away the facade that they're making. You have to strip away all of the stuff that they're giving to you. That's your issue. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to think that, I'm using Warp because it's good. No, you're using Warp because it's cool. I'm using school because, I'm a value guy and I like how easy it is. No, you're using school because you want to be businessy, you want to be that. And you might blind yourself in the solution. That's what happens to a lot of my coaches, people that come in. I want to be like this guy. I'm like, why? Well, what is he actually selling? Now, if you can re-engineer whatever these two people have done, you can do it yourself. You can build the next thing. That's what I'm telling you guys. You have to think bigger, okay? So what can we do now? Because I've ranted on. I've been a little bit angry because this topic just angers me in general. But what can we do? Study the people, not the companies, not the industry. This is the biggest problem that you guys have. You start to study, what does Warp do? No. What Warp is not real. You have to understand that VoIP is not a real thing that you can replace. A person you can. A person is a real thing. The company, it has lies. Everything is a manufacturer. Everything is coming through a, like a 4D lens. A person is right there. They're flawed. They have their thinking. They have this. They have that. You have to look at the person and be like, okay, what predictions are they making? How are they talking? What are they talking about? If you look at OpenAI, if you look at Sam Altman, you look, okay, how did he find OpenAI? Don't say the company, study Sam Altman. Now, of course, he's like a massive example, and it's going to be super hard, but like, what did he do? Right? You have to ask yourself this question. Ask yourself why 5 times after listening to someone or something or to do something online. This is so crucial. A lot of times you guys will just literally take like, oh, Alex Hormozi said do this. So you guys will be like, oh, I'm going to do this. Like, bro, you're literally getting programmed. You are like, oh, I'm escaping the matrix, so I'm doing this while you're listening to someone else who is doing the same thing. They're all trying to program you. Your consciousness is being taken. Me right now, I'm programming you. Pause this video, ask yourself why. Why is this guy trying to teach me this? What is his intention behind me? Does he care about me? Why is he trying to do this? What is this person? Ask yourself this question. And nobody makes videos on these. Nobody is going to do any of this stuff. Why? Because they all want the simple clicks and likes. But I'm going to give you the actual truth. How you can become a better business owner. Not just some regurgitated or just like 100K regurgitated copy of someone else. I just can't do it. Because I'm not that myself. I want people to be unique. I want people to do really good stuff and actually create change in this world rather than just do what's actually working. Okay? Now, another thing you can do, write down your beliefs. Why do you believe it? Why do you believe that Alex Hormozi is the best in business and not anybody else? Why do you believe that Andrew Tate is the epitome of a man? There are other people who might do better than him. I don't know. I'm not saying anything, right? Why do you think Iman Gashi bought Warp? Why are you using Warp? Why are you listening to this video? Ask yourself what are your beliefs? What are you actually believing in? It's not to bash you. It's not to say that you're right or wrong. What I'm trying to do is basically make you aware of what's happening. Because if you are aware, you can see what's actually happening. You can remove the veil that's there and you can help yourself, okay? How can you change the industry and become one of these leaders? This is what I want you to do. My intention with this is not to just make copies of people. If you're going to work with me and if you're going to do anything that, it's inside our business, if you're going to watch this video, I want you to be a leader. I want you to lead the business. I want you to change. I want you to do the hard stuff that nobody's willing to do to actually help the people that's out there, create better solutions. And I'm with you. I'm standing by you because that's what I want to do. That's why I'm trying to be different. That's what I want you guys to be, okay? So, if you don't own your consciousness, someone else will. Remember this, watch this video again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.